What's up, y'all? It's your girl Ayana of Ayana and it's the chat. Y'all, we are in the chat on another compilation of what went down this weekend with the Daltons. And I am excited to bring my perspective my way to you on these skits and what occurred. So I told y'all before we were gonna break down each character. And so right now I'm coming for Amber. I'm coming with receipts and I'm coming with some thoughts. Now y'all know I'm an Amber fan, but I also have said plenty of times on this that whether I like a character or don't, if I need to call them out, I'll call them out. And there are some moves that Amber has made during this whole fiasco, during this whole divorce. She's made some mistakes. She's messed up and she continues to mess up. And I'm going to show you exactly how with receipts. Let's not waste any time, y'all. Let's get into it. Okay, y'all. One of the first mistakes that Amber made and continues to make is talking to Dave about her relationship with Anthony. And even when she does tell him, he has given her some advice. And in that moment, she didn't take the advice. Let's check into it.
It's like, it's crazy. It feels like the decisions of my past are affecting my present.
But that's
I
usually
wouldn't
how
say
that works.
affecting it, just making it a little bit more difficult, but we're gonna get through that, you know.
Yeah. I just wish I had met you like, I don't know, 5 years ago.
That would have been nice.
I know, pounced on you
But
so fast.
it's time, man. Everything is timing, though. You know, we here
Yeah,
in the present.
we are, for sure. I just want it to be over.
I really think you just got to keep it 100. You got to keep it 100 with Anthony.
I have. I've talked to him
I
till I'm blue
mean,
in the
like,
face.
I mean, like 100, like no emotion. He's a businessman. You know, he gonna know you serious when you talking to him with no emotion. Like,
No emotion. That doesn't mean that Amber cannot have her feelings, y'all. It does not mean that she can't feel a way. But when she goes and approaches Anthony, when Anthony starts talking that nonsense, be stoic. I want a divorce. Now, what can I do to make this happen? Well, let's negotiate. Bring your lawyers in. Let's have a sit down meeting and straight up keep it business. The one thing Anthony cannot argue with is business, and he's telling her how to deal with him. He's a businessman. A businessman will understand business before he understands emotions. Now, Anthony loves to love bomb people, but when it comes down to it, you got to go to him straight up, keeping it strictly business. And Amber has not done that. Amber has played into Anthony's pettiness, and that is what Dave is telling her. Take the emotions out of it. And when I learned this from hanging out with guys, when men say take the emotion out of it, they're not saying you shouldn't feel how you feel. What they're saying is set your feelings to the side so you can handle this business and get the closure that you say you want. In this case, Amber wants a divorce. Should she feel away because she walked up in that house and that woman was in her bed? Heck yeah. Because number one, I am still living here. It would be different if Amber had moved all her stuff out. So she should have been feeling away. She also likely should have been feeling away. Dude, I'm trying to move on. I simply want a divorce. Sign the papers, or let's do what we need to so we expedite this so you can move on and I can move on. All that other jibber jabber with Denisha uncalled for. So that's one of Auntie Amber's first mistakes. The first mistake is talking to this man about all her business. Amber talks too much. That has been Amber's problem throughout the entire skit process. All Amber do is she tell Ernestine her business, she tells Shayla her business, she tell everybody her business. Like she can't think for herself. She tell Wayne her business. And what has it done? Where has it gotten her? Nowhere. Now she's telling Dave. At some point, Dave gonna get tired of hearing about this. Clearly, if you want to keep dealing with this toxic behind man, you must love it. You must love the toxicity too. So while she got him and he want her, she need to fall back and chill and listen to what this man is telling her. Treat it like a business deal because Anthony will understand that it is a transaction at this point. So that's where she messed up. There's two places she done messed up so far. Number one, she run her mouth too much. Quit talking to Dave and quit talking to everybody else about your stuff. Only thing Dave need to hear, I done moved out the house. Only thing Dave need to hear, we going to meet so we can sign these papers. That's it. All that other one, oh, one real, I told him, all that bull. That man don't want to keep hearing that, especially if he got plans for her. Because at some point, she gonna put him in a position where he gonna have to step in. Number two, where she messed up at, he gave her some sound advice. Keep it 100. Take the emotions out of it. In other words, treat this like a business transaction. That's all he's saying. That's all he's saying. Point blank, period. Okay? So the way she messing up continues with that's two. Okay? Let's go to another way she doing her thing. Number three, Amber is not willing to lose anything. Here she is right now talking to her lawyer in the skit where she talks to her lawyer and tells her lawyer about Dave. She's saying she needs to speed this up. She needs to speed this up. And the attorney is telling her how she can speed it up. Because Anthony could drag this out for years. Well, they think he could drag it out for years, but I found something else out. Anyways.
I says, no, that's not what I want.
So what do you want?
I want 50%, but I want this to be wrapped up like next week.
Why?
Because I do. I need this to hurry up. That's right.
Is there a reason? And is the reason a person? And is the person a male?
So the lawyer done told her, you can speed it up. Just you walk away with nothing. That's the easiest way to speed this up. But she don't want to lose. She don't want to walk away with nothing. And both of them are being rigid. Both Amber and Anthony are being rigid with this 50%. You gotta be willing to negotiate. Ask for what you want, but be willing to negotiate to get something. Okay? Now to keep this in mind, listen to what she tell her. That's number one. Amber is unwilling to budge. She's not being flexible in this divorce. Okay? That's number three for me. She's not being flexible.
No, I mean, why would you ask that? Because we went from fighting until we get everything, no matter how long it takes, to an emergency lunch date today to speed it up. I need it handled. And I've been doing this for 20 years. When that happens, it's usually an outside thing that is encouraging you to speed it up.
Call out, lawyer.
Okay, so what if there was? Why do I have to stay in this marriage if I don't want to be here?
So if there is, allegedly, you don't have to stay in the marriage. It's not going to affect anything with the divorce, except if you want to speed it up, you're going to have to give up things to speed it up.
You're going to have to give up things to speed it up. Now, how bad do you want Dave, Amber? How bad do you want to explore this relationship without Anthony being a presence in it? Where she has messed up and where she continues to mess up. She's being inflexible. See, Amber trying to hold on to what Brittany told her back when Brittany was her lawyer after the first time. See, when Anthony messed up, then she could have, okay? She could have gotten half. She probably could have got more than half. But she, according to Georgia law, go over here and check this out for y'all. It's called condonation. When Amber forgave under Georgia OCGA, let me let y'all see it. Let me pull it up. Okay, so here's what Amber did when she forgave him his first affair and the baby. The husband affair with the best friend constitutes a clear marital adultery. However, when the wife took him back to work on the marriage, she legally engaged in condonation, forgiving the marital offense by resuming cohabitation, meaning they started back messing around. Under OCGA 19-5-4, condonation generally wipes the slate clean regarding a specific act as a ground for divorce, unless the behavior is revived by new misconduct. Okay? All right. Now, while we got it here, I'm going to say something else. That's another way Amber keeps messing up. She keeps letting this man play in her face about Wayne. We saw that in the following skit when he called Wayne over there and all that stuff. But Anthony is still pissed off about Wayne. Anthony keeps throwing Wayne up in Amber's face, even though Amber has shown no sign prior to getting with Dave after she filed for divorce. She was not cheating on Anthony, none of that. Let me tell you what it said about her premarital affair. It's premarital. People say it ain't nothing, but it is something. Under Georgia law, an affair before the marriage is not legal grounds for adultery. Because it did not occur during the marriage, it cannot be used to bar her from receiving alimony or penalize her in asset division. So when Anthony was doing all of that and Amber was like, oh, you know, I messed up too. I did some dirty stuff too, blah, blah, blah. Her premarital affair. I ain't saying it was right. Like morally, I ain't saying that premarital affair was right. But under Georgia law, that cannot be used as an act of adultery. He probably could have got not fraud, but he could have gotten an annul in the beginning if Anthony really wanted to. But Anthony wanted to be on his villain arc. That's really what he was on. And I said back then when she kept messing with Wayne, we were gonna get a time when Anthony was gonna be on his villain arc. Here it is. This is what Amber keeps messing up at. She keeps letting people hold Wayne over her, and it ain't a grounds for nothing. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. So she got active in the church. She started trying to live right. She was trying to be a good doting wife. She was doing all the things she needed to do. All that stuff with Wayne wasn't nothing. Wasn't nothing. Now, let's go to this refusal to sign. Because this is important, y'all, to Amber and where she messed up at. The refusal to sign in Georgia, a spouse cannot block a divorce simply by refusing to sign. If the husband refuses to respond or sign, the case moves forward as a contested matter, and a judge will ultimately make the final ruling. She actually can have her lawyer petition the judge. Okay, it's been X number of days. He ain't even filed an answer. Okay, well, can we go ahead and get this divorce knocked out? Because we ain't heard nowhere where Anthony actually filed an answer or his attorney filed an answer. They just all just sitting on paperwork. Now, not in one skit. This is what Amber keeps messing up, though. She keep playing the fool, and she ain't a fool. She keep letting people hold stuff over her. Quit letting people hold stuff over you. Now, we're going to get to Dave in a minute. So let's back up. Let's go back to where we were with Amber's messing up. So Amber wants to know what happens if Anthony finds out about Dave. At this point, Anthony ain't found out nothing about Dave. He suspects because Amber's starting to do stupid stuff. Okay. But, and I say it's stupid because the key to it all is discretion. Don't have that man in your home. Don't have him drop you off at your house. Don't have him nowhere near your marital property. Nowhere. Be discreet. Don't be all out in public with the man. But she did that when Trey saw her and Dave out at the little park and stuff. So continue to be discreet. But in her rebelliousness and wanting to fight Anthony and want to one-up him, she didn't care. But listen to what the lawyer tells her.
Okay, and so what if Anthony finds out about this alleged situation?
If he finds out, that's fine. You're legally separated. When you file, you're legally separated. As long as you and Anthony are not intimate, you're fine.
Oh no, we're not.
Okay. Long as her and Anthony weren't intimate, she was fine. Now let me go back and let me show y'all something. Let me go back to my little research I pulled up. And I want to point something out to y'all because she is right. The attorney is right. People didn't think she was like, oh, that don't sound right, but it's right. That is how Georgia operates. Okay, here we go. Even though the post-separation relationship, even though the parties still share a roof, they are legally separated. If they are no longer engaging in marital relations, the key here, they ain't screwing each other. And Anthony been trying to get under her clothes and ain't been able to. He even was going to try when he kept her locked up in the house that day and couldn't. Even though the parties still share a roof, they are legally separated if they are no longer engaging in marital relations. The wife starting a discreet relationship post-separation carries minimal weight. However, the husband bringing his new partner, i.e. Denisha, into the marital home and sleeping in the marital bed constitutes open adultery and egregious misconduct, effectively reviving his past fault and creating an intolerable living situation. Because right now, Amber still has all rights and provisions to that home because that is the marital home. No marital assets have been divided. So if he in that house, in that bed with Denisha, and Amber still living in that house, he has now resumed his relationship. And let me show you how Amber is making a mistake. But before we do that, there's one more thing I want to show you. One more thing. It says on the OCGA 19.5-4, condemnation generally wipes the slate clean regarding that specific act as a ground of divorce unless the behavior is revived in a new misconduct. Right now, the ball is in Amber's court, but she keep playing a fool. And let me show you how. She probably could have got a ruling. So here's where she messed up at. When she, in the skit, when Amber let Anthony have it, this is where she went wrong. She showed emotion. She did what Dave told her to do. Don't be emotional. Just go to him 100. Okay, that shouldn't have changed. When she left Dave, that's what she was going to the house to do. That should not have changed. What Amber should have done in this moment, she should have pulled out her phone out her little bag, pulled her phone out, and she should start snapping pictures. She just started snapping pictures because there goes her evidence. He right back to doing what he was doing. What Amber should have done in this moment, instead of trying to check Anthony and being out up in her feelings, Amber should have called her attorney. She should have took them pictures, went and called her attorney and sent the pictures to her attorney. Let her attorney add them to the file, send over a motion to the judge, requesting the divorce and the decision, and boom, it would have been this.
Denisha, you got a girl in my bed, Anthony. Huh? In my
See, he played Denisha and he played Amber in this moment. He think Amber care. And Amber giving him what he needs to think that she still care about him when she really say she don't. And I believe she don't. She shouldn't have been coming for Denisha. She should have been calling Honeypot. She should have been calling Shayla. The person, and she didn't call Wayne. Anthony called Wayne. What Amber should have been doing in that moment, snapping pictures and calling her attorney. When she first walked in the house, when she first walked in the room, when she walked up, she should have took pictures of the car. When she walked in the house and went in that room, she should have had her camera out. She should have been taking pictures. That's how you take emotion out of it, ladies. You take emotion out of it by doing it. Look, you know how sometimes some of us, we like to ramble through men's phone? That's taking emotion out of it. Oh, I'm finna get proof because I know I'm right. I'm validating my intuition. In that moment, she should took that phone out, took some pictures, call her attorney. Hey, I just sent you some pictures. Boom, here it go. Let's see if we can go and speed this thing up now. Because now Anthony don't have a leg to stand on because according to this little thing, let me show you. According to my little Gemini thing, the post-separation relationship. Well, let me back up. OCGA, Georgia law, 19-5-4 talks about condemnation. And it generally wipes Anthony's slate clean, i.e. Shayla and the baby, clean slate. Regarding the specific act as a ground of divorce, unless behavior is revived in new misconduct. Go on down, it's going to talk a little bit more about this law. The husband says it right here. I'm going to highlight it. The wife starting a discreet relationship, meaning that man ain't been in that house. She ain't been floating him around. Anthony, that was a happenstance meeting of them meeting, seeing Dave at that event. Amber didn't expect Anthony to be there, so she didn't set him up to see nothing. Anthony, however, he set himself up, set Amber up to see Denisha laid up in that bed with him, trying to trigger some feelings out of her and get some emotion out of her. And when he gets sick of Denisha, he's going to do Denisha just like he did Shayla. He's going to come running back to Amber. However, the husband bringing his new partner into the marital home and sleeping in the marital bed constitutes open adultery and egregious misconduct, effectively reviving his past fault and creating an intolerable living situation. That's what Anthony just did. And if Amber had to play her card right, she messed up before at the lake house showing emotion, okay, with Shayla. But she's been through that before. So when she walked up in her house this time, it shouldn't even been none of that. It shouldn't have been no showing out, none of that, sitting out on the porch and all. The only thing she done sitting on that porch, calling my lawyer, sending my stuff over. I'm at my house and I can't go in my house because my man in the house, my husband in the house, he won't sign a divorce paper, but he in the house with this woman laid up in my bed. That's it. That's taking emotion out of it and rocking with business. Because at this point, a divorce is a business transaction. Yeah, some emotion tied up in there, but you still got to go about handling the business. So how could the judge have ruled in Amber's favor if she had did what she was supposed to do? One, and I'm doing this as a judge, acting as a judge, getting feedback based on Georgia law. The unequal division due to egregious misconduct. The court awards the wife 65% of the marital assets, including sole ownership of the marital home. Whether we think it's right or not that she get half or not, because of what Anthony did and the way he moving and taking the discretion out of it and having that woman, Denisha, in his house, in his bed, they could take that house and order him to vacate the premises within 30 days. It don't matter about that being his house. While Georgia judge's rationale, while Georgia is an equitable distribution state and not an automatic 50-50 state, so it ain't automatic 50-50 in Georgia, the court has broad discretion to consider the conduct of the parties towards each other during the marriage. OCGA 19-6-1. Don't get mad with me, get mad with the law, because that's what's on the books in Georgia. Although the wife condoned the husband's initial affair that resulted in a child, the husband's subsequent behavior, bringing a new romantic partner into the shared marital residence and sleeping in the marital bed while the wife was still resided there. Don't matter that she didn't spend the night there last night. Take that out. Don't matter if she don't spend the night there at night. When she come home during the day, she's still occupying home. That don't matter. The wife still resides there, constitutes extreme emotional cruelty and a flagrant continuation of marital misconduct. It was cruel and unusual punishment. The husband's refusal to sign the documents unnecessarily prolonged the litigation, meaning you moving on, you don't want this one, but you still won't sign these doggone papers. So now you're just dragging this out just to be petty, is what it's saying. The court finds a 50-50 split inequitable due to the husband's severe misconduct and the emotional distress inflicted upon the wife within her own home. Matter of fact, Amber got proof. He threw up in her face about that baby. Every time he went to her and said something crazy to her about that baby, about Wayne, about all of that, he creating a toxic environment. What did Tamara say to Denisha? Anthony is toxic. He's so toxic, he don't even realize he's toxic. That's what Tamara told Denisha. So everything could have worked in Amber's favor. She could have got a split. The strict economic split with marital home carved out. That's another example of how she could have won. But she keep messing up. The court orders a 50-50 split of all liquid assets, bank accounts, and retirement funds, but awards the marital home entirely to the wife, allowing her to buy out the husband's remaining equity over an extended timeline or offsetting it with other assets. Judge's rationale, the court notes that both parties have entered into new relationships post-separation. While the husband conduct bringing his new partner into the marital home is highly inappropriate, the financial history of the marriage shows that both parties contribute equally to the accumulation of wealth. Now, that's where the issue is going to come up at, because Amber didn't have anything to do with Anthony's wealth except for one key thing. Amber helped Anthony get his money back. She helped him build back up. He had to pay roll back, but after he lost his money, Amber is the one that helped him build back up. That's why it didn't make sense when they wrote the skit when Amber didn't have access to the bank account. Didn't make sense. At one point, she had access to the bank accounts. When did she lose it? Therefore, a standard 50-50 split of the retirement and standard bank accounts is equitable. However, regarding the physical marriage in the home, the husband actually violated the wife's right to quiet enjoyment of the property during the pending divorce. She has a right to quiet enjoyment of the property. To restore equity and peace, the wife is awarded the home, and the husband's share of the home's equity is reduced to account for the rental value of bringing a third party into the home without consent. He didn't have Amber's consent to do that. He needed it. The total asset liquidation and conduct sanction. The court orders the immediate sale of the marital home with the proceeds split 60% to the wife and 40% to the husband. Furthermore, the husband is ordered to pay 100% of the wife's attorney fees. Judge's rationale: living under the same roof under these hostile conditions rendered the marital property toxic. There's that word again. Because the husband refused to sign the initial paperwork and actively escalate the conflict by moving his new partner into the marital bed, he is acted in bad faith and caused unnecessary expansion of litigation. The home must be sold immediately to separate the parties. The wife is awarded a higher percentage of the proceeds to assist her in relocating and establishing a new residence, as she was effectively forced out of her domestic peace by the husband's flagrant behavior. The husband is also sanctioned via an award of attorney fees to the wife due to obstructionist behavior and refusing to sign or negotiate in good faith. He is not acting in good faith. Now, I don't care if y'all don't like it, because that's the bottom line. This is what Georgia law. This is based on Georgia law and how a judge may rule. It's the prompt that I put in there, and the prompt was fair. And the prompt told, and I wanted to know what a judge would do. I didn't want to just know what no lawyer would advise. I want to know what might a Georgia judge do in this situation. I've had my own divorce situation, but it wasn't like this. What might a judge do? Amber, at the moment that Amber walked in that house, all power shifted to her. But she chose to do this. He did all of this. Amber here clowning, but she got the upper hand. What she wanted was right there if she'd have took the emotion out of it and would have called her attorney and handled it like a business transaction. All Anthony understands is transactions. That's why Wayne gives them women money after he breaks their heart, because the relationships that he has with women, including his baby mamas, they are all transactional. All them relationships is transactional. But hey, who am I? Who am I? Now, here's another place I think Amber messed up. Amber's attorney told her that she needs to go home every night. Well, almost every night. Amber ain't doing that. Amber's not being discreet. It's very clear Amber is messing around with somebody, okay? She's not doing it at home, but she messing around with somebody. She can discreetly see somebody. According to Georgia law, she can discreetly see somebody until her divorce is final, okay? But, and I ain't talking about morals. I'm talking about straight up law. Take the morals and the emotions out of it. I'm talking straight up Georgia law, okay? Here's where Amber messed up. Amber stopped being discreet. In this moment, she had control of whether she chose to be discreet or not, and she chose violence. Here we go.
What's up, man?
Ernestine just
Not at the party.
she just came in the room, and she told me that he's here.
Who's it?
Anthony.
Anthony? Your husband, Anthony?
Yeah.
So?
No, I don't think you understand.
Dave said so. Now I'm gonna tell you why Dave said so. Dave said so. This is a business networking function. He don't believe Amber set it up when Anthony would be there. This is a business networking function. Amber has made it clear that Anthony is a businessman in Atlanta. So Dave was like, so I'm cool. This my house. But in that moment, what Amber should have done, And I know Dave hyped her up and empowered her and made her feel like she was the best thing since sliced bread. But Amber is still going through a divorce. They didn't know who it was at that point. He had an idea, but he never met Dave. Now he's got a name, a face, and a location. He about to have that. And here's the thing. Here's what was wrong. Amber should have said, you know what? I'm going to either stay in the room. I'm not going to come out. Or she should have left. She should have had Ernestine take her away. Because see, remember, would have stayed there. Ernestine messing behind probably would have told Candace that Amber was there, or went and told Anthony Amber was there so she could see Amber up there in this man's house in his room. That's the kind of moves Ernestine play. But Amber made a fool out of herself when she decided to go along with this. Girl, you getting a divorce. Why in the devil? Your lawyer told you to be discreet. She didn't say you couldn't do that. She said be discreet. So that's another place where Amber messed up at. When she was cheating with Wayne, she wasn't being discreet. That was before the marriage. But she wasn't being discreet. So some of what she should have got, because she know Anthony is diabolical. He already said he's going to do something. He crashed out after this. So she messed up. And then calling all these people. Another thing, Amber calling all these different people. Let's look. You don't want the man, but why are you calling Shayla? Why are you calling Shayla to check her? But you don't want Anthony though, right, Amber? If you don't want him, don't mess yourself over by calling somebody because you in your feelings. Call your attorney. That's what she should have been calling out here on this porch. And she's like, I can't go in my house. We got this woman laid up in there. And she won't leave. The lawyer could have got in her car, came over there with the police in tow, did a restraining order, filed a restraining order so that Denisha could not come into that house, and put a restraining order on Anthony. It's all kind of ways it could have played out and worked in Amber's favor. But she wanted to call Shayla instead.
Hey, girl.
Shayla.
What's up?
So, you just gonna play in my face?
What are you talking about?
Don't do that. Don't act like you don't know.
Play in your face about what? What's going on?
You didn't know about Denisha and Anthony? I'm sure.
Now, let me tell you why she calling Shayla, y'all. Amber ain't got no friends. She got Ernestine, but Ernestine messy. She can't fully trust her. Shayla was her best friend. Brittany gone. Shayla was her best friend. And if this had gone down with anybody else, and if Shayla hadn't been messing around with Anthony back in the day, guess what? That's when Amber would have called first. Why she didn't call Amanda? She called Shayla. The best friend turned snake. Better yet, call your freaking attorney.
Or Tamara told you.
Who? Denisha and Anthony.
Denisha and Anthony. Stop acting stupid, Shayla. I know you knew.
Amber, what are you talking about? Denisha.
Shayla, don't play games with me, okay?
Who you want to fight with? Call your freaking lawyer. This is where Amber messed up and continues to mess up. Calling Shayla, trying to talk to her, approaching her about something Anthony did. When they got a lawyer, that's what you hired them for. Let your lawyer handle it. Okay? She called somebody else too. She done called Tamara. For what? Tamara do what Wayne saying. She's stupid. No, I told you I'm gonna check all parties. I'm gonna come with receipts on all parties. I would not be calling Tamara for nothing. Tamara didn't even talk to her about Shayla or try to settle it right. She became best friends with Shayla. For what? But okay, she called her though.
So this is what we doing, Tamara?
Yeah, we doing, Tamara.
Huh?
What are we doing?
We on a podcast together, and this is what we do.
Well, wait though. When Tamara tried to call out Lauren cooking Wayne breakfast, and Tamara didn't want to do it. You try to talk, girl. Let's try to get our bag. But no, now you in this. You find yourself in the same position as Honeypot to a degree.
You back to the old Tamir, hiding secrets and keeping things from me. That's what we're doing?
Amber, I'm not hiding or keeping secrets from you.
So tell me you didn't know about Denisha and Anthony. Tell me you didn't. Look,
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought, Tamara. That's what I thought. So you and Shayla over there playing in my face?
I know Shayla knows. She got to know, right? So y'all just playing in my face. We got a whole podcast together, and you want to sit here and play in my face.
You want to sit here and come in my house?
Now, somebody I want to point out, Anthony and Denisha both inside the house, and they can hear her. So who looks stupid? Call your lawyer, Amber. That's what she should have called her attorney. These folks is non-MF factors at this point. It wasn't necessary to call them. Call your attorney. Let your attorney know what's happening. This is where Amber messed up and continues to mess up. She called and telling folks her business. She letting this tramp in the house hear her business, hear how she feeling. She let Anthony know he won. He got out of character. I should do call attorney. Let's keep going, y'all. Here's another place where Amber is messing up. She's not letting it be known that she is the queen of that castle. She is the woman of that house until those divorce papers are signed. And Anthony has not signed them. So what Amber should have done is when she went back to that house, she should have went back to that house with her attorney and with her police, with the police in tow, and a restraining order against Denisha and a restraining order against Anthony. She could have got that. Her lawyer, if she worth anything, could have got that. Could have got that. And also her attorney could have called Anthony's attorney because they got each other's contact. Hey, you need to meet me at the house because some things going down. I don't think your client done told you about it. And we head over to the house. We head over to the house with the police and a restraining order in tow. It's already been signed by a judge. You need to meet us there so you can get your copy. Matter of fact, I done faxed you a copy. That's what her attorney should have been doing, y'all. But instead, Amber over here coming home after being gone with Dave again.
Well, I have to keep reminding you, but legally, my house, Aunt.
You don't even stay here half the time.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
Because I can. And I want. Oh, you got your mascot here.
She wouldn't be in my house. Not in the house that technically I still live in. The divorce papers are not. She wouldn't be in my house. She wouldn't even be coming out my house talking to me crazy. Doing all this talk, Amber, all this talk. If Amber were to beat her behind right there, she would be well within her rights. If she'd have jumped on her yesterday, she would have been well within her rights. Because now they are on her property. The lake house, I said it, I missaid it. The lake house wasn't their property. It was a property they were renting. But this is actually their home. This is where she lives. This is where Anthony bought her and crossed the threshold when he married her. This is the same house that Anthony abandoned when he cheated with Shayla. Now all of this, back to the law, it say that he is now repeating the same egregious act. But if she'd call her lawyer, she would know that. This is how I know she didn't call her lawyer. Because the lawyer would have equipped her with everything she needed to make this woman leave her house. And now what Anthony wants is to not look stupid in front of Denisha. So he's hoping Amber is just going to slither away back to Dave so that he don't look like a fool and don't look like he done played this woman. I mean, when I'm talking about Denisha now. Amber has power, but she ain't using it. That's another way that Amber is messing up. She has the power and is not using it because she wants to be in her feelings. Here you go. Got some more. So once again, she at this house, standing outside on her phone, looking like she's a visitor. When I would be sitting down, kicked up. If you're going to come back to the house, sit down and kick up right. Go rip the sheets off your bed. Put them in the wash. Call your attorney while you're sitting there waiting. dare him or her to put their hands on you, sit there while your lawyer heading over there, getting that restraining order, whatever legally she need to do. Because if I was an attorney, that would be the first move I played. Oh, she ain't finna come up in here. Restraining order on Denisha. That could have solved all of that. But Amber want to play games. She want to go tit for tat with Anthony.
Record, but that's what happened.
You were friends with Wayne. You're still friends with him, Aunt.
Yes, because you taught me through all of this, trying to take 50%, that I have to protect my business. And Wayne's my business partner. So I have to protect that. Just face it. You lost. You lost. And I'm with someone else.
He really think this woman care about him being with somebody else. She don't care about that. She with a big dog. She don't care about that. He wants to be able to write the story and write the narrative that Amber is hurt because of Denisha. Denisha could never be Amber. Let's be clear. Denisha, the character they got her playing, could never measure up and could never be Amber. Never. She's beneath Amber. There, I said it. Because Denisha ain't a wife. If Anthony makes her a wife, she gonna drain him for everything that he got.
You lost.
I won. And you know what I know about you, Aunt? It's all about winning and losing. And you mad. Oh, you big mad that I'm winning, Aunt. See, because no matter what you do, you could have fake booty laying up in the bed all you want. But see what you know? You know she will never be me.
Never. Because see, Denisha ain't gonna be able to take care of Kai. Amber could. And Amber could take care of Kai without any animosity. She loved that little boy. Denisha not gonna be able to do that. Because Shayla is not gonna let her do that. See, Shayla wanted her friendship with Amber back. But again, Amber is going back and forth, playing tit for tat with him. It's time out for tit for tat. If you say you want a divorce, Amber, get the freaking divorce. I had said move out this man's house, but now that he has played it like this, she don't need to go nowhere. And what she need to start doing, stay out with Dave, but then come home every night. If he changes the locks, call the police. Go on and get your restraining order so that woman can't be there. If you're gonna play the game, play it business minded. Don't play it off emotion. Sign these papers. Because now there's a case that can be made as per this scenario. Anthony is being toxic. Just dragging stuff out. She got the cards, but she not playing them. That's another way she messing up and continues to mess up. She be having the deck be stacked in her favor. She be Trump tight and will still sit there and play the fool. Come on, Amber. It's time to Detroit up. As you say, because shoot, the Georgia women don't even act like this. Georgia peaches don't act like this. We can get bitter and be riding to the court when pushed and provoked. So that's my take on Amber. I told y'all I'm coming for everybody. I'm coming for everybody. And for the gentleman that was on my last post talking about Amber and what she done did, well, guess what? Amber is within her right to see somebody else as long as she's discreet per Georgia law. And with all the stuff this man done did to her and put her through during the marriage, she within her rights. But Amber has got to smarten up, wisen up, and she's got to do the one piece of advice that Dave is giving her that is very effective. Take the emotion out and be about your business. This is transactional at this point. It's a transaction. If you're trying to get it, be thick-skinned and play the game. Play the cards that's dealt with. Look, God keep playing cards to her, giving her cards. Because Anthony's an idiot. Anthony is the most idiotic person I've seen in these skits, besides Wayne. And I'm going to get to him next. I'm getting to Tamara and I'm getting to Wayne. And then I'm going to surprise y'all with my post that I do on Shayla. Get ready, y'all. It's going to be a bumpy ride and a long day, but I'm here for it. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. While we're down in the comments chatting about it, let's make sure we be about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Till next skit compilation. Peace and hair grease, y'all. Peace and hair grease.